We are back on the ML Sports Platter. It's all brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers and Mars Motors. Go find your new used car today at Mars Motors, Route 11 in the Cicero-Brewerton area. We bring him in, Mike Corey from ESPN, and obviously a bunch of other broadcasting platforms as well. Mike, it's a pleasure to have you on here. I just worked with you recently at the Dome. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you, man. Thanks so much. And look, I'm working on my walls here, so at some point it'll look somewhat close to what you have. Not nearly as cool as your background, but I'll get some press passes up here pretty soon, just kind of redoing some stuff around here.
I love it. I was expecting maybe just a huge autograph of yourself, in the background and just leave it, just leave it right there. We had the Harvard-Syracuse game, which was wild. I mean, Cuse is down 8-2. They get 5 in 139. It goes to overtime. Gary Gate doesn't call timeout. It's tied. Cuse gets the game winner. And then I'm sure you saw what they did in the next game, and now they're here in the Final Four. How do you explain Syracuse's run getting back to a place where it used to be just wake up, death, taxes, and Syracuse Final Fours? Not anymore. The game's changed. But you've been along for this ride, so how have you seen it, Mike?
It's pretty cool. I mean, normally there's always I always feel like that first round game is always like that Sunday night, like 7:30 graduation weekend. We were 5 o'clock this past one, but it's totally fine. Like it's like that's kind of, you expect that year after year after year. And then you're right, playing for championships, obviously historic program. You can't ever count them out. That's the thing. Like we were in that game, and somebody the other day told me, he's like, "Hey, thanks for not saying like this one's over." I'm like, "Hell no, it's not over." Like they can do that kind of stuff. Like, and it was pretty impressive. I think that's what we were worried about from the beginning, was that them winning all those faceoffs and then scoring, which they finally did towards the later stages of the game. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the Final Four.
I know, me too. You call a lot of college basketball. You've called a lot of different sports, and I've worked with you doing basketball, and I've worked with you doing lacrosse, and I've worked with many broadcasters who have done a lot of different sports. And I'm curious, lacrosse and basketball specifically, because when the runs were happening by Syracuse and the first run by Harvard, I'm thinking about how it looked a lot like basketball, where it's a game of runs always, right? You get a bunch of faceoffs and it's bang, 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 bang. Right. And it's a different game. College basketball, you give up a 12-2 run, then you go on a 14-4 run. You give up an 8-0 run, then you go on a 12-2 run. When you call lacrosse and basketball, how much do you use the other sport for the other one?
Yeah, it's a good point. See, you're never out of it. That's the thing. Even if it's like a 20-point game in basketball, it's like it's okay because you bang a three, you get a steal, you get a bucket, you hit another three. Oh, it's a 12-point game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're always right there. The same thing with lacrosse. Like, yeah, it's a 5-6 goal game, 7-goal game. Look, I just did the women's quarterfinals at Florida. Florida was up 11-2 on Duke. Duke came back with like 7 goals in a row. They ended up losing by 2, but it's like, had you not dug a 9-hole deficit, they probably would have won the game. Like a few years back, the women at Homewood Field in Baltimore, I think it was like UNC with a crazy comeback in a game there against Northwestern, I believe it was. So it was like, you never know. And I do that. I kind of translate football or basketball and lacrosse are similar. You're not out of it. Go on these crazy runs. Where's the other team at though? When you go on that run, are you down by 2 or 3? Or are you up, a little bit? So, but you're right. They're very similar.
Do you think the face-off specialist in lacrosse is similar to the 3-point shot in hoops?
Maybe a little different because there's a lot of different players that could shoot a 3-pointer in basketball. Now big guys are going out and shooting threes. There's multiple people that can put it up. I don't think you could just throw anybody at the X, right? And just be like, all right, we'll rotate a bunch of guys. Now you could rotate some people, but when you're really top, right. You're top. I mean, there could be 3 or 4 or 5 3-point shooters, at 38, 40, 42%. I've seen it, but the face-off is definitely kind of a specialized thing.
But from the run standpoint is kind of what I should have said. From the run, like how you get on a run, do you see it similarly there? Like, oh, hey, if you win 3-4 here, face-off, if you make 2-3 threes here, the run just boom, especially like in a game like at Cameron or at Allen Fieldhouse or something where those teams get it, the crowd's going nuts and it's steal, pass, boom, 3, steal, pass, boom, 3, miss shot, rebound, 3. face-off, you win 3-4 in a row, and all of a sudden, like you mentioned, it's 6-7 goals before you blink.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, where are you at as the opponent when that other team goes on that run? Like in basketball, are you already up 6 and they go on a 12, 14 nothing run? Okay, fine. You're still in the game. Or are you down 6 and they go on a 12 nothing run? Game's over. So with Syracuse the other day, they probably, with winning all those faceoffs, probably should have translated it to a few more goals. They didn't. They ended up going down. So when they won all those and scored, they barely got the win. In the other games, they're already up 3 or 4 goals, and then they just win, score, and it's over. They're up by like 10. It just wasn't the case then on the night.
ESPN's Mike Corey with us here on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers, Mars Motors, and Rosie's Corner. A couple more for you here, Mike. When did it all begin for you? When did you decide, I want to be on the mic, I want to be a broadcaster and do this thing? Obviously, we all fall in love with sports at a really young age, but when did you decide the profession, this was going to be it?
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate. I felt like at a very young age, I feel like in 9th grade, I was kind of like, you know what, I'm going to be a sportscaster. I used to, as many of us did, pretend to do play-by-play on TV, watching the game, or I was at like the basketball. I used to play basketball growing up, and we'd call the varsity game while I was on JV and vice versa, watching it and pretending to make the play-by-play. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I was very fortunate. Syracuse was actually one of my schools that I got into along with UMass, and ended up choosing UMass 40 minutes south from my house in Vermont. Great decision. Couldn't have asked for anything better. And thanks to all that experience there, I was able to get a job right after college. Started at the University of Delaware, doing play-by-play for football and basketball on the radio, and moved that into TV. And, here we are today. But yeah, I was very fortunate. I kind of knew what I wanted to do, so I was able to work towards it. Spent all 4 years of college doing that, and got a great break, to begin my career for sure.
Do you, when you go places and you do this more, and as you get older and more polished, and you go into more venues and get more jobs, do you feel different when you go into a really special place? Because I do in sports, whether it's being on the professional side or as a fan. Do you feel differently when you walk into a certain venue? Because you know it's different. When I walk on the grounds of Oak Hill, I feel different. When you're at Wrigley or Lambeau, or when you walk into a big time college basketball venue, do you feel it when you walk in? It's a little bit different here.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I always enjoy, but you're right. I mean, there are certain places that you get excited about going to, whether that's in college football or basketball or even the lacrosse venues. I mean, I really do. Like, I like coming to Syracuse. It just has a feel to it. Baltimore, Homewood Field, that kind of has that. Basketball, I do a lot of the Atlantic 10 and the American, some really cool, spots like VCU, and Dayton is amazing. I mean, that's probably one of the tops of the country, in my opinion. A lot of great places. Football, I was very fortunate to go do some games in the SEC. Been to Auburn, been to Mississippi State, did a game at LSU, did a game at Texas A&M. Like, it's different. Yeah, it's special. And it makes you feel pretty cool. I've been able to go to some NFL stadiums, do games there. One of my favorite games is a bowl game I did at Ford Field day after Christmas, the Quick Lane Bowl back in the day. It was like 6 years ago at this point, but Eastern Michigan and Pitt, which had like Kenny Pickett and DeMar Hamlin and all those guys. So, but yeah, there's a lot of fun venues, a lot of great places. I as you say, as you get older, I kind of feel like you just enjoy every single opportunity you have. Don't always worry about it as much. We always used to go, I got to move up, got to do this and that. It's like, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. We got a lot of great people like yourself and people that I meet along the way that I've become friends with, that I know. That's what it's about, right? To me, I always say it's about the people. You can do all these games and great venues, and yeah, that's cool, but it's the friendships and relationships you have, and the great people that have been in this business that I really enjoy.
And I'd like to add to that list the Riley Center. You've had some big time opportunities at the RC there, and I'm sure all the language was clean, the student section was clean. Nothing bad there, but hey, making a couple trips to Ole and doing your thing too in the middle of winter ain't bad either. That atmosphere when it gets jumping. This year I was disappointed in the students. I've called them out. They know that. The alums and where are the crowds, man? But man, when it's jumping for those games like against VCU and whomever, you've been in that building for some rockers, man.
I love St. Bonaventure. I really do. And I tell everybody all the time because, it gets a bad rap because of the weather, you think, and then the travel to get there. But you know what? It's like I said with the SEC. Now, I'm not comparing it to the SEC. I'm just saying, like, those are hard places to get to. Excuse me. But when it's a awesome environment, I don't care how long it takes to get there or whatever, because it's going to be a cool venue. That's what it's like at St. Bonaventure. I really enjoy going there. The people are great. It reminds me of where I grew up. So I grew up in a small town called Brattleboro, Vermont. Same thing, like 13,000, just like Olean, New York.
Sure.
People care. They support the team. I've got a lot of friends now that I've met up in there. And so I can't say anything. I can't say more nicer things about St. Bonaventure because Mark Schmidt, who's awesome, and his wife, Anita, all the people up there. But it's really cool. You're right. And it's an awesome venue. And I look forward to getting there more because I didn't really get any opportunities there last year for whatever reasons. We don't know if they're going to be as good or on TV. It's like, dude, we should be there every year, no matter what,
Yeah, those Friday nights at their RC, pretty cool. You give the students another extra hour to have a couple more cocktails. They're
Right.
in good shape. Final question for you, and I love asking people this. If you were 18-year-old Mike Corey right now in senior year in high school, and you want to do the broadcast thing, it's a different time now. I mean, we're into this YouTube and you can do it on your own. I mean, financially it's a challenge, of course, but what isn't? How would you approach it today as an 18-year-old? Would you still try to go the broadcast route in college and have your own platform as a backup? Would you just go straight podcast and internet and work on the side? How would you approach being a broadcaster today? You're a little different than the talk show thing because you're a play-by-play. I mean, you really need that play-by-play experience. How would you attack it today?
I would do similar to what I did, but also add to what you were just talking about. So like I was at UMass, I worked on the student radio, student TV, student newspaper. And now that's a little different now at the time, just be like covering stuff and writing online, whatever. But then you should probably try to get like a podcast going or your website. And that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't worry about like, how many people you got listening or this or that. It's like, it's to get the experience. Like, just do it. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. And don't even say that either. Like, is anybody listening? Just do it. Like the radio, the TV, the newspaper, the writing, the podcasting, your website, getting a demo together. Yeah, I would do all that stuff. And I like talking to people when they are younger like that, or they're just getting into college. I actually teach a class at the University of Delaware on TV sportscasting, which I love, but I like to have younger students because I want to tell them what I just said to you about this is what you need to do to get that experience so that you can make it to the next level. But that's what I would recommend. But you're absolutely right. The times have changed a little bit, but do it. And you love doing it. You just don't worry about it. The money will get there. That'll come. You got to, my friend Brad, who's great, he always says, chase happiness, right? You got to chase happiness. And if you love what you do, which I'm very fortunate that I do, I don't feel like I'm working. You know what I mean? And you'll get the money, you'll get there. But don't listen to anybody, it's hard, you don't make a lot of money. Stop. If that's what you enjoy doing, you go after it, you do it, you put everything you can into it, and then hopefully it'll work out. But at least you know you did everything you possibly could to make it happen.
Yeah, and by the way, the social digital thing, eventually somebody will see you because it's an uncapped audience. So somebody will see you, whether it's 400 or 4,000 or 40,000, somebody will see you. So remember that. I got to sneak in one more.
Yeah, we're good.
In the last minute or so. Back to Syracuse lacrosse. Finish this sentence for me. The Orange will win it all if.
Geez, let me say. They will win it all. Yeah, I mean, if they continue to win
the calling you to give you the answer.
No, they're trying to give me the answer. I'm sorry. They will win it all if they continue to win the faceoffs like they have all year. Because I think they're gonna convert. I mean, it won't be like what we saw the first half of that last game against Harvard. I don't think here the first round matchup. They continue to win the faceoffs. Look out.
Yeah. Well, because they've got the guns. We know that, and if it goes through Spallina offensively, watch out. I mean, him, Hiltz, English, they're all rolling. I'm with you. I think the faceoffs there, and if McCool can just make just enough of the saves, he'll be fine. I think. Mike Corey, broadcaster, ESPN, multiple other platforms, of course. Thanks for the time here on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers, Stanley Law Offices, and Mars Motors. Hopefully, I'll see you real soon, man. It was great catching up.
Me too. Thanks again, Mike. I appreciate it.